Hello students, welcome to the video session for Unit 2, It is important to get rest, where I, teacher Paulina Moya, will guide you through the lesson. Let's begin. In this unit, we'll learn to state health problems and give advice. Also, we'll learn how to ask for advice and give suggestions about health products. I am going to ask you some questions and I want you to respond, please. Do you have good habits? That is, do you do exercise or do you eat healthy? Are you for preventing? Let's say, do you go to the doctor for a checkup every year? Or do you only go to the doctor when you get sick? Do you take vitamins? How is your health currently? Do you sleep well? Does anything hurt? Well, when somebody asks you, how are you? Or how are you feeling? In case we don't feel okay, we can respond, I'm not feeling well. Or, I don't feel so good. And in case you feel terrible, you can say, I feel awful. In English, we use the phrase I have to state health problems. The most common are a headache, a cough, a cold, the flu, a stomachache, a backache, sore muscles, insomnia. So a complete sentence would be, I have a cold, or she has a backache. In British English, they say, I've got the flu, I've got insomnia, etc. Here we have a conversation between Mila and Keith at the gym. Let's listen to it.
Are you all right, Keith?
Not really. I don't feel so well. I have a terrible cold.
Oh, that's too bad. You shouldn't be at the gym then.
Yeah, I know. But I need to run for an hour every day.
Not today, Keith. It's really important to get some rest.
Yeah, you're right. I should be in bed.
Well, yeah. And have you taken anything for your cold?
No, I haven't. What should I take?
Well, pain medicine, lots of water. Sometimes it's helpful to drink garlic tea. Just chop up some garlic and boil it for a few minutes. Then add lemon and honey. Try it. It really works.
Yuck. That sounds awful.
In case you need to look some vocabulary up, please pause the video and do it now. Repeat the conversation if necessary. Ready? Now, let's answer the following questions. What is the situation in the conversation? Yes, Keith has a terrible cold. What's Mila's reaction to that? She says, oh, that's too bad. What does Mila tell Keith about his cold? It's really important to get some rest, and sometimes it's helpful to drink garlic tea. What suggestions does Mila give Keith for his cold? You shouldn't be at the gym. And you should take pain medicine, lots of water. Now, let's listen to other advices from kids' neighbors. What do they suggest?
1.
That cold sounds pretty bad, Keith.
Yeah, it is, Mrs. Gray. Don't get too close.
Well, it's important to drink a lot of liquids. Can I get you some orange juice? I have some in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Thanks a lot.
2.
How's that cold, Keith?
Not so good. I've still got it.
Oh, too bad. Well, listen, it's a good idea to take some cold medicine, and you should take a long hot bath.
You're right. Maybe I should. Thanks for the advice.
Excellent. I hope you've got the answers. In case you don't, you can repeat the audio. Very well. Now, let's look at the grammar. There are many ways to give recommendations or suggestions. One of them is using the following structure. It's nice to have friends. It is important to study before an exam. It's interesting to read about world history. As you can see, the structure in this sentence consists of the it is contracted, it's, plus the adjective, plus the verb in the infinitive form, that is, including the to. Now, you try to write 3 sentences using these adjectives. It is fun to, it is good to, it is healthy to. Okay? Write them on your notebook. Now, if we want to give a recommendation that is negative, then we have to add not. It's not necessary to go on a diet. It's not convenient to buy a car right now. It's not easy to study online. You need discipline. As you can see, the not goes before the adjective and after the it's. Now you try writing 3 sentences in negative with these other adjectives. It is not elegant to, it is not polite to, it is not honest to. Write them on your notebook. And we continue. When we want to ask a question, it's really simple. We just change the order of subject and verb, remember? So, it is nice to have friends would change to a question. Is it nice to have friends? It's interesting to read about world history in a question would be, is it interesting to read about world history? And it's important to study in a question. Is it important to study before an exam? Right? Of course, for the answers for these questions can only be yes it is, no it isn't, as these questions are yes or no questions or short answer questions. Very well. Let's jump to the first exercise. We look at these health problems and choose several pieces of good advice for each problem. You are going to answer this exercise by yourself. Although, I want you to take a look at these advices over here. What do they have in common? That's right. These advices begin with a verb. For example, drink lots of liquids, put a heating pad on it, see a dentist. These are called imperative sentences. And this is also another way to give advice in the form of an order. But this sounds rather like our mom talking, right? Put the sweater on. That's like your mom. So, for example, the order, get some rest. If we want to make it sound more like an advice or a suggestion, then we would have to use should. Like, you should get some rest. It doesn't sound like an order anymore, right? Now, how would you transform this order into an advice? Don't smoke with the flu. How would you add should to that sentence? Yes, you shouldn't smoke with the flu. That's right. Very nice. Now let's try to transform these orders into an advice using the it's plus adjective plus infinitive verb form. So, get some rest would be, for example, it is important to get some rest. Or we could use another adjective, let's say, it's nice to get some rest, it's necessary to get some rest, etc. Depending on the situation, right? Now, with the negative, don't smoke with a flu, how do we transform it into this structure? Maybe using important. We would say it's important not to smoke with a flu. As you can see, we added the not after the adjective. Not in the verb, because that would be a different meaning. Finally, let's go to page 83 of your book and answer this exercise. Here we have to rewrite the sentences using the words in parentheses. But we have to pay attention to the negative sentences. The first ones, we can do them together. Let's see. Number 1 says, for a bad headache, you should relax and close your eyes. And we have to rewrite it using a good idea. So we would use the it's plus adjective plus verb structure. The answer is, it's a good idea to relax and close your eyes when you have a bad headache. Yes, you can also say for a bad headache, it's a good idea to relax and close your eyes. That's another option. Sounds good? Let's go to number 2. You do it with me. We have to add sometimes helpful to this one. So, you should put some cold tea on that sunburn. That would be, it's sometimes helpful to put some cold tea on the sunburn. Don't forget the to before the verb, to put. Okay, number 3. For a backache, you should take some pain medicine. Add important. For a backache, it's important to take some pain medicine. Very well. Number 4. For a cold, you shouldn't drink milk. And we have important. But pay attention. It's you shouldn't. It's negative. So, it is important not to drink milk with a cough. The negative not should go before the infinitive to drink. Why? Because if we did it the other way, it would change the meaning to the sentence. If we say, it is not important if you drink milk with a cough, that is the opposite idea. So pay attention where you put the not particle. Right, now you can do number 5 and number 6 by yourself. Check your answers with your classmate. One more note for you. Now, this is just a note. And that is when a person tells you he or she is not feeling well, that they are sick or ill, you can use these phrases to answer. Take it easy, or get well soon, or I hope you feel better. This is polite to say, and they are good wishes for your friends. Well, I hope you liked the video and that it is useful for you. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.